Okay, A Boyd here again. I thought I'd do. I did a little video on this on the Ridgeline pot that Zelf over at um, Wood Gas Stoves does, and I mentioned when I posted that on the hammock forums, I mentioned the stove that I also bought at the same time, and it was the Fancee Feest stove that Dan does and sells on the same website. And so a couple people asked about what that stove looked like and how it worked, and so I thought I'd just show a quick review of the stove. It's called a Fancee Feast stove. It's made from a Fancee Feast can, cat through can, and it's got a stainless steel inner wall, and sandwiched in between there is some fiberglass wicking material. I don't know if you can see that there, but there's some fiberglass wick in between the stainless and the cat through can. And it comes with a corrugated windscreen, comes with it, and also a measuring cup for your fuel. So those three come together. So I'm going to do a quick little burn here. Since I'm in the house, I'm not going to mess with using the windscreen, but it also comes with instructions as well. Dan sent some instructions, so you got that. It tells a little bit about the stove. But, so real quick, I'm going to put 3/4 ounce of fuel, it's heat, in the yellow bottle in there. And I'm also going to put, and I just pour it in, maybe let it sit for a second or two. I think the stove will hold like 2.5 ounces, 3 ounce. Stove capacity is 3 ounces, but it says in the instructions that 3/4 of an ounce will boil 2 cups of water. So, and it does. I've run this before and it did fine. So I'm going to put the Ridgeline pot on there. It sits just perfectly on that stand. So you can see there that the pot does real well sitting on the stove. So that they're basically a perfect match. I asked Dan which one of his stoves worked best with the Foster's pots and the Heineken pots, and this is the one he recommended. Said it did well. So I got 3/4 of an ounce of fuel in there. I'm gonna light it up. Just basically hit it like that. Lights right up. I'm gonna start the stopwatch just for fun, just to kind of time it again. It's 50. It was started, I think, 58 degrees, 57 degree water, something like that. It's already heating up. I'm gonna flip out the light here and see if you can see better the flame pattern. I don't know if that helped or not. I may kill my other light and see. Well, I think you can see that pretty good. Let me kill the other light. Yeah, can't see the pot now, so I guess that doesn't work. So I'll leave that on. But yeah, the flame pattern is almost perfect on that can. I mean, it's absolutely perfect. So let that run for a little bit. It's already starting to climb. So I'm going to kill the camera and come back when we get close to the boiling point and give you an idea how long it burns and what the boil time was. So be right back. Alright, we're getting close. We're at 199 degrees, 7 minutes and 11 seconds. I think we're about to get a boil here. We're at 204 and climbing. As you can see, the stove still got a good pattern, burns real well, very little if any wasted heat. It's all right there around the base of the pot. So we're at 208, 209. We're getting close. Alright, 212. We got 7 minutes 40 seconds to bring to a rolling boil, and we'll see what burnout is. We got some steam rolling now, and as you see, it's still a good flame. And now this is on 3/4 of an ounce of heat. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the probe out of that. Let that boil a little bit longer. So yeah, 3/4 of an ounce of heat from the yellow bottle and the Fancee Feest stove gave us a boil in 7 minutes 40 seconds. Now granted, this is in my little workroom / laundry room, so the ambient temperature in here is probably 70-ish, 72, something like that, give or take. Water temperature started at 57 degrees, 2 cups, which is still pretty good. It boiled it in 7 minutes 40 seconds on 3/4 of an ounce. I think that's a pretty good deal. So this stove is just a perfect match, I think. There were some reports of a couple people I read before I bought the stove of pressure buildup in the center of the stove because it made such a tight seal. The stainless pot stand made such a tight seal on the underside of the can. So a couple people said they had to drill a hole in the side wall of the stainless to relieve the pressure buildup. But Dan has cut some notches around the top, and when this finishes I'll try to show you what those look like. But he's cut some real small notches around the top of the stainless pot stand. I haven't had any problems with any pressure buildup. This is probably the 4th or 5th time I've used it. No issues whatsoever with that. So, you know, he's got that problem resolved. So I really don't know how long ago that came up, but it's not a problem now. We're on 10 minutes now on that 3/4 of an ounce of fuel. So water's still rolling, boil. So that's looks like it's starting to calm down just a little bit. The flame must be starting to die down. So I'd say looks like 10.5 minutes probably. There's still a little flame there, but the boil stopped. There's still a little bit of bubble left, but it's starting to die off. So yeah, I call it 10.5 minutes, maybe a little more on 3/4 of an ounce of fuel for the burn time. So yeah, good stove. I really like it. Matches really well with this pot that Dan puts with that he also sells. I'm gonna try to take this off here real quick, and I don't know if you can see at all. Well, you probably can't tell, but turn the light back on. That doesn't help much. There's but yeah, there is some notches. One there, right there, and one right there. He's got 3 notches cut in the stainless. Very little to resolve any kind of pressure problem. So hey, stove works great. Perfect match for the pot. Now this knob I put on there, he comes with a little zip tie on the pull tab of the cup, which is perfectly fine. I just happen to have some of these knobs laying around, so I figured I'd put one on there just for kicks. But the pull that's on there is perfectly fine. That comes with the pot, so that's a little bit different. But and also that stove works perfectly fine with a honey pot as well. Perfect match for either one of those kind of pots. So there you go. For those that wanted to see the Fancee Feest stove, cools off pretty quick too. But that's it right there. Nice and light, good stove, perfect match for this pot. So you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.